Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we're looking at Elementals number 15 from the first series from Comico, the comic book company. So much fun, one of my favorite books ever. Check out this gorgeous wraparound cover. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button and let's get right into it. So if you watch my channel, you may know that I'm currently working on the Elementals 40-year anniversary tribute book. So I had this in my collection and I just read it the other day. And it is so much fun. Grant Mime is the artist. Keith Wilson is the inker. We have Vortex and Annihilator doing battle in this epic sky fight on the cover. This is classic superhero comics at its finest with an indie edge. Like, that is like the appeal of the Elementals right there. Love this ad for Justice Machine here by the great Mike Gustovich, who has contributed to pinups to the new Elementals tribute books. So you have that to look forward to. I always loved the splash page of the Elementals books, how it always had like the type. And usually we had panels, more panels on the page, but this is very much in line with the aesthetic. Bill Willingham's story, Grant Mime, special guest penciler, and I always hated when Bill didn't draw the book, but the art here is so good. It's so like classic superhero. I love it. Keith Wilson inks, Kurt Mausert colors, and Bob Hinaha letters. Kurt Mausert colored the majority of Elementals, and Bob Hinaha was like the main letterer. So their names are just as synonymous with the book as Bill Willingham. Keith Wilson came in as the inker. Rich Rankin was like an original inker, I think. Bill Anderson was one of the great inkers on the story. I feel like Grant Mime might have come from DC. Like, I feel like I might have seen him doing like maybe a fill-in of Infinity Ink or something like that. But I don't know. I don't know if he ever like got much notoriety, but I have to say I really, really, really love his art. It is like the classic comic book art. And it's funny because the story is so great. They have this annihilator guy. He's drugged up and they're questioning him. He's one of the enemies of the Elementals, so they're trying to find out more about him. And he like wants his costume. So they're trying to like say like he might be more effective to us if we give him his costume back, and they're like, oh, that's a stupid idea, and he's like, no, we'll see if it's okay with the general. You know, he's drugged up, he won't be able to use his powers. Okay, bad idea, right? So then we go to the Elementals at the Golden State, where Golden is Becky Golden, the Fathom. They live in a mansion, kind of X-Men-ish in a way. So they're in the backyard training. They're training Tommy, who is, more or less like was on his way to becoming an archaeologist, or his dad was or something. And he's very like scientific, very brainy, very passive. So he's not into this fighting and stuff, but he has to be trained. And Morningstar, Jeff Vortex is military. Morningstar was a cop, so she's pretty, an LA cop at that. So she's pretty brutal, and she like almost knocks him out here in a demonstration of why he needs to be prepared for a fight. And Jeff yells at her and says they've gone too far. I just love like the great character development here. You kind of just get to know who these characters are. And this is just so great. So they get Annihilator back in his costume, and they're like, okay, now it's time for the interrogation. But guess what? He fooled them, and the costume is actually the key to his powers. I can't believe they're so stupid for letting it happen, but it's just like such a classic comic book story in a way that I just loved every second of it. An ad for Gummy Summer Fun Special. Is there any better Gumby artist than Art Adams? No. Okay. I loved Comico so much. The greatest comic book company ever. They totally did everything just great and right. Grendel, Mage, Ginger Fox, Elementals, Johnny Quest, frickin' Space Ghost. I mean, the list goes on and on. I don't know how people don't like just scream from the rooftops about them every day, all day long. So then Vortex has to go fight Annihilator, who escaped very easily once he got his costume back. And this is what I live for. Him using his powers, him flying through the city, this great cityscape. We get this bird's eye view. you know, pulling out all the stops, just like really going for it. And it's funny because I noticed how much destruction the element. I mean, come on, we've got fighter jets. This is crazy. Like, there's so much going on in this comic book that it just like was a thrill ride from page one. So if you're unfamiliar with the elementals, I'm sure this is a dollar bin dive darling for sure, unfortunately. But I say never hesitate to pick up an issue of the elementals because you will not be disappointed. As you can see, come on, this like flaming corpse parachuting to the ground. It's just like body horror is kind of a big element of elementals as well. No pun intended. And I love it. I love the dynamic page layouts here. It's just so good. What a great issue. I had it in my pile and I kind of dismissed it. I was like, oh, is that a fill-in issue? Whatever. And I thought I might as well read it because the art looks pretty fun. And damn if I wasn't right. It is really, really good. Another great, they always kind of ended on these like somber notes sometimes that just definitely made you want to come back for more. Fish Police. I love the art on that. I don't know if I just never saw it. You know, indie books weren't as accessible to me at the time I was getting this. I think I had to like send away for elementals at one point or something. So I missed the boat on Fish Police and I would kind of love to discover it. Any fans out there, feel free to sound off in the comments about it. Robotech, another accomplishment from Kamiko. Robotech 3D. I wonder how great that was. Anyway, guys, so that is that. Elementals number 15. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and I will bring you more soon.